ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. They shooting in the parking lot. Everybody get low. They shooting in the parking lot. They ain't where you wanna go. Now stand by soldier, stand by soldier. And work the motherfucking ass like I told you. Stand by soldier, stand by soldier. And work the motherfucking ass like I told you.
Back on TikTok, baby. Yes, sir. Reunited and it feels so good.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Right.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got
Are we ready?
racks to the ATM
Are we ready?
jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Let's get it cracking. All right, let's begin. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. Yes, sir. Another action-packed week. Let's get it. Who's ready? Huh? Who's ready for love and money tonight? Let's see who's ready. On your mark, get set, go. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this multi-million dollar stream. I'm Kev Prosper, founder and CEO of Prosperity. Oh, my bad. Selling travel and wellness consulting, merchandise, and media that teach people how to master their mindset and live life on their own terms. You are tuned into Love and Money on Prosperity Plus. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App. It's right there, $ Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for visiting this website below, ProsperUnlimited.com. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. Yes, and remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity U LLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. Welcome. All right, let's get to the business, man. Let's get to the things. So, first order of topic or whatever. Yeah, man. So this went down, man. What's been going on? What's been going on with the crashing out, man? So this young lady, Sha'Carri Richardson, she's had a troubled, storied career. In the she's been very much in the spotlight. She has a Nike sponsorship. She's an Olympian, a gold. Did she win gold? I don't know if she won gold. She might be a silver, but she is an Olympian nonetheless. Track runner or track star, as if you will. And she's young. You know what I mean? She's young. And if any of you have ever been young before, you know how young can be, right? And so, there's things, that she's learning the hard way. There's things that she may be learning the hard way. And that's how it is when you're young. We've all been there. So I think, previously, I think maybe last year, the year before. When was the Olympics? Was it last year? I think it was maybe 2022. But yeah, she got disqualified from some track meet in between the Olympics. She got blew out by the Jamaicans in the Olympics. Them Jamaican girls smoked her. But she kept her head held high. You know what I'm saying? And then she blamed it on losing her mom. You know what I mean? Okay. Whatever grace that she needs, may she get it, right? And then she got disqualified, or she got in trouble for testing positive for marijuana. You know what I mean? And then she kind of redeemed herself, and then she came in another track meet. Came back and smoked the other Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? And smoking Jamaicans in track and field ain't nothing to sneeze at, especially when it comes to the dash. The dash and the relay. That's Jamaicans' thing right there. They get two Jamaican air horns for that one. You know what I'm saying? That's their thing. You know what I mean? And so she held her own in a recent track meet, and and she kept her Nike sponsorship, which is beautiful. And of course, when being young, you love easy and you love hard, right? And so what comes with that, man. What comes with that. This woman, so apparently she's dating another track runner, or another track star. The gentleman's name is Coleman. I think it's something Coleman. Let me look at my whatchamacallit. Christian Coleman, yeah. He's also another Olympian, another with a Nike shoe deal. So she's matching energy. She's matching energy. She got her 1%. She's a 1% herself, and she got her another 1%. So water is seeking its level, right? But apparently they had an altercation in an airport. They had an altercation in the airport where she was kind of, I guess, harassing him. Pretty much, she was harassing, like, straight up. Let me see if I can pull up the footage. Let me see. Richardson Airport. Richardson Airport. Let's look at that. Let's see if I can find the footage. Yeah, here it is. This is.
Have no problem with letting you know who I am. Haven't put my hands on him. We had an argument. I will be honest about that. An argument, and that's pretty much it.
This right here is new body camera video of the moments before Olympic sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested at SeaTac Airport last month. You heard her tell police.
I feel like, wait a minute. Let me blow that up a little bit. My bad. Yeah.
She did not touch her boyfriend, but airport security footage shows her shoving him multiple times before police arrived right here in this corner. Officers were called to TSA security after she pushed him in a packed terminal right outside security checkpoint.
This ain't helpful. Hold on. Let me get to it. Let me find some better footage. Like, the way she was in his face, I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, what's this about? What's happening? What are they fighting for? And that's the thing about relationships. You know what I mean? You get so caught up. Richardson Airport. Yeah. That's the thing about relationships. You get so caught up that you forget what it's really about. You forget what you're fighting for. You forget why you was in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it's just messy. It's just so.
And smartwatches. Okay. Please switch them.
You recorded me, but you jumped in my video, so I caught you because you jumped in my video. You're harassing me at this point, so I think you should stop.
She's so sassy.
I think you should stop. You see him, right? Y'all see him, right? Okay, but I'm sorry, it's not me. Talk to him. No,
oh, she's a brat. She's a brat.
Do not talk to me like that.
This is
stop. If you do not know what's going on, do not yell at me.
You can stop recording.
Stop. And see, and that's what they always do. They always on the phone every time there's an altercation.
And this video will show what you're doing. So I. Who the f are you talking to, man?
Oh, she has no class.
I
Yeah,
want to talk to the captain because he was very unprofessional.
Yeah, this is
I
bad.
don't want you to get
This is
Come
bad.
forward, why? I have to come off the plane. Is he going to be removed off the plane as well? The flight attendant? He's not going to be removed? I'm just trying to understand the situation. So he's not being removed after being unprofessional and having his hand in my face?
He didn't have his hand in your face though. See? She's a brat. This is.
So can the captain come and does the captain know the situation?
I bet any amount of money she's a fatherless child.
So I'm being removed off the plane without even being explained of why? Right.
This ain't even it though. This ain't even. Yeah. That's a fatherless child.
Yes, I am.
This
Y'all
is what
have no
happens.
idea. And I have the evidence, so I hope that you.
Yeah, this is what happens when your talent takes you places where your character doesn't follow.
Sha'Carri Richardson, have no problem with letting you know who I
Wait.
am. Having for my.
Is this the footage? Hold on, let me see. This is what happens when your talent takes you places where your character can't follow. Why is YouTube buffering? Come on, YouTube. Oh. YouTube does so much,
Her
bro.
shoving him multiple times before police arrived
her
right
all in
here in
his
this
face.
corner. Officers were called to TSA security after
at
she
her,
pushed
like-
him in a packed terminal.
Yo, hold on.
outside
Did y'all just see that
shoving him
shove?
multiple times before
Hold on,
police
look,
arrived right
she
here
in his face,
corner. Officers
and
were
then one
called to
big-ass
TSA
shove.
security after she pushed
And
him
it's
in
buffering.
a
What?
packed
Come on.
here in
Why-
this
why-
corner. Officers were called to TSA security after she pushed him in a packed terminal right outside security.
Yeah. See, not like. See, this is. Hold on. Let me start it back. See, this is what happens. See, like he's saying to himself, like, yo, I wanna snap back so hard. I wanna snap back so hard. Come on, why? Porque why? Hold on, let me reduce maybe it'll get his life together. SeaTac Air. Oh, she was in Seattle. So they must have been coming from the Nike. Yo, come on, bro. All right, never mind. Never mind. Oh, okay, hold on. Look how she shoved him. Yo, how many dudes would have just took that? How many dudes would have took that? Wait a minute. Why does it buffer when I go full screen? This is trash. I need to. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he's just he's taking it because he's like, yo, if I crash out, and she's taking advantage of that. We in a public place. Yeah, I got license now. I got license to crash out. You see what I'm saying? I got license to crash out. This is what happens when your talent takes you places that your character don't follow. So this is her arrest footage now.
I will never fuck with you again. So we're in a relationship. I will no longer mess with him or what he had going on. He has in his bag. I just need to get out of my bag. My iPad, some clothes.
The officer's like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever.
That's pretty much it. But we have a relationship.
Sounds good.
You know, some kind of things on right now. But yeah, exactly. But I brought his bag.
Sounds good.
My lungs out. I would leave him alone. You
Right.
don't have to worry about me. I have a flight coming up.
Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's like 11 minutes. Hold on.
If possible. Okay. But like I said,
You got your ID? Yeah.
Richardson, I do have my ID.
You gotta understand, these officers are on high alert, especially in these public places. Like, he's acting like he's listening to her, and he's looking at 10 different things going on around him while he's listening to her. Come on, why?
But I'm telling you that we was arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But
And see,
you guys are doing this to me.
consequences and repercussions.
I'm just gonna comply.
Consequences and repercussions. They think they got license.
Camera, but at the same time, what he has to what at my
They
phone,
think they got
that's
license.
different. So if I need to show that, I will.
I got license to wild out. I'm a female. You're not gonna hit me. We in a public place.
Thank you, Christian.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, officer. They are arresting me right now, Christian. Sissy, they're arresting me right now.
17 or something like that?
This is what happens when your talent takes you where your character can't follow.
Wait, but right now,
Yes, it's a physical.
For assault
I'm
for?
under arrest for assault right now. Okay.
Repercussions, consequences, and repercussions. Let's fast forward a little bit. And it's buffering. But yeah, so y'all get the gist. Y'all get the
I'm not
gist.
arguing. I'm just saying that all the numbers that I have are on my phone.
You get the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? It came back to bite her in the ass, and she ain't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not used. She's probably a fatherless child. She's not used to getting direct repercussions for her actions. You know what I'm saying? She's not used to being under such, that kind of discipline. And she's a talented girl. You know what I'm saying? And she's had the world given to her on a silver platter. So yeah, if she's feeling some kind of way at a dude that she's romantically involved with, regardless of whether he's a 1%er or not, you know what I'm saying? She got license to crash out. But now on the back end of that, let's get into the next topic. To caveat that, hold on. So apparently, she went ahead and apologized. What? What? She apologized? When do women do that? Right? When do they do that? So apparently the Olympic gold medalist was arrested at the Seattle airport on July 27th. That was back in July, damn. After she allegedly pushed Coleman multiple times. Sha'Carri Richardson is apologizing after her domestic violence arrest last month. It's probably her agent or her lawyer, you know what I'm saying, or her publicist, like, yo, you got to clean this up, sis. Like, I don't care how you feel about it, but you got to clean this up. No, ma'am. I mean, that shit was all the way back in July. We in the middle of August. On Tuesday, August 12th, the Olympic gold and silver medalist extended an apology in 2 posts on her Instagram stories 2 weeks after her July 27th arrest. Quote, I apologize to Christian, referring to her boyfriend. Quote, he came into my life and gave me more than a relationship, but a greater understanding of unconditional love from what I've experienced in my past. Yo, we just heard like however many minutes of her rambling to the authorities in the airport. She don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Good job. She does not talk like that. 777. Due to my past trauma and pain, yes, my past trauma, yeah. I was blind and blocked off to not only receive it, but to give it. Yes. She continued, quote, I love him and I can't apologize enough. My apology should be just as loud as my actions. Yes. Yo, she don't talk like this. Honestly, louder to Christian. I love you and I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, that was good. Hold on. In a separate video, the track star said that she was doing a lot of self-reflection. Yeah, she was doing a lot of self-reflection. Yeah. After her arrest, and that she recognizes that she put her Sprinter boyfriend in a compromising situation. You put your career in a compromising situation, sis. Fuck is you thinking? You like I mean, it's obvious what she's thinking. You know what I'm saying? But still. In the incident, the arresting officer allegedly witnessed Richardson's push before he fell into a nearby column. Airport security footage allegedly documented Coleman attempting to walk away from Richardson, but she kept bumping into him. Yeah, we saw that. Airport security footage allegedly documented Coleman to walk away. Authorities also reported that she threw a pair of headphones at him. She must have really been like, wow, she must have really been upset. Coleman, age 29, refused to press charges and declined to be a victim. And see, like, this was him kind of low-key, like, taking the Megan Thee Stallion stance she's nowhere near innocent in that situation. Like, as far as that situation go, like, no, fuck that. But when she said, I didn't want to say shit because I didn't want nobody to get shot, right? Like, that's kind of what the stance he was taking. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is just a simple domestic situation, and it don't need to go no further, right? And we're public, celebrity athletes. Like, we don't need this kind of smoke in our lives. No, fuck no. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it. And then she put hands on them, but she ain't really like, I mean, based on physical stature, like, how. Other than throwing shit at him and shoving him around, like, how really was she supposed to physically take her anger out on him? You know what I'm saying? In a malicious way. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, he's thinking, as a man, nah. But I would hope that he has enough sense. You know what I'm saying? To draw a boundary. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy when like, you live at a certain level of life, that your pick of the litter ain't much pick of the litter, right? You ain't got much to choose from when you in that, upper part of the pyramid. You know what I mean? So it's very easy to kind of fall back into the same rut. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, you low key kind of feel like, well, is this the best I can do? Can I do better than this? Can I do better than this? Right? You know what I mean? She's Sha'Carri Richardson. She's a 1%er. Like how, if I date another chick, how can I top her? Right? You know what I mean? But it's not even about topping her. It's about, keeping your name safe, protecting your name. Look at all these celebrities, these multimillionaire celebrities getting hit up on these sexual charges. Like it's open season. Like, damn. You know what I mean? I know me personally. I speak for myself personally. I don't play around with the domestic violence shit. You know what I mean? I don't play around. Like, I'm pressing charges. Like, cause yeah. And then I think he was lucky. I think had they not have been in the airport, had they been like in a hotel room, I mean, of course, because they're traveling, right? Had they been somewhere else, this story would have been spun way different, and he would have looked like the villain. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I ain't lying. But because there was exposure and accountability. See, and this is why I don't play the domestic violence shit. This is why I press charges, because two things. If there's two things that keep a woman in check, it's exposure and accountability. I said it. If there's two things that keep a woman in check, is exposure and accountability. I ain't never seen a woman act right till she get handed papers or till she get approached by the authorities. I ain't never seen it until the exposure and accountability. You lay it out. You put it out there and you spell it out. You know what I'm saying? And you put your foot down. They straighten up. You get that paperwork straight. They straighten up. I've seen it. Coleman says, quote, "For me personally, I feel like it was a sucky situation all around." Exactly. Quote, "I don't feel like she should have been arrested. I mean, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. However, the 3-time world championship gold medalist also alluded to Richardson's past emotional struggles. Quote, "She has things that she needs to work on for herself." You said it right, bro. You said it right. So do I. So do you. So does no. You see, he doesn't get it yet. He doesn't get it. But he will. He will. I think if this story was spun differently and against his favor, he would be singing an entirely different tune. But I'm the type of guy who's in the business of extending grace and mercy and love. Aw, good for you, Coleman. Good for you. The fuck? Good job. All right. Next topic. Let's see what else is down the pipeline. We're gonna talk about Shedeur Sanders. So he had a great week last week. But you know the where is it at? Hold on. Where am I? Oh, bruh. Hold on. I gotta do my thug fizzle. Man. Hold on. So Shedeur Sanders. So if you're not familiar, Shedeur Sanders is in a doozy of a pickle. Just to recap, he got drafted for 5th round. He was one of the maybe top 1 or 2 quarterbacks in the draft this past year, and he got snubbed to the 5th round. And you know, people argue the reasons why because you know he because of his father's legacy, and you know the owner they say, you know, the owners don't want to have a prima donna on their team. You know, they want someone who's going to play football and not be worried about sponsorships, you know, not be worried about the money, but over football, you know what I'm saying? Not bring the publicity and the hoopla to the team, you know what I'm saying? That's what people speculated on as to, you know, the whole Shedeur Sanders draft situation, you know what I'm saying, and why he got drafted so low. And so he got drafted 5th round, and then he got placed maybe 5th on the depth chart, I think. So, and then, you know, an NFL roster can only have but so many quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Some guys make the practice squad maybe, and some guys just get cut and you never see him again. You know what I mean? But everyone knows he's gonna make the team, and if not start, he's probably gonna. I'm pretty sure as long as he plays well, he's gonna start by the end of the season. Mark my words. And then, you know, of course, another sour part of the draft was him being drafted to Cleveland, a team that nobody wants to play for in a city that nobody wants to go to, right? But Cleveland is very Ohio in and of itself is very, very much a football state, and Cleveland is very much a football city. You know what I mean? And so his fanfare has brought more attention, probably the most attention that Cleveland has had since LeBron. So the preseason is finally underway. They had camp in July. Now here comes the preseason. And, the first week of the preseason, Shedeur got in the game and went stupid, right? And so now that was last week. That was the last week. And so now this week came around and he turns up with an oblique injury. Now we don't know. I don't know. I don't know the extent of the injury. Let me see. 2025 fifth round pick, battled 3 other NFL quarterbacks. Okay, so he was placed 4th on the depth chart. In a competition for the number 1 spot in the depth chart this summer, fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel and veterans Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco have been part of the drama-filled. Joe Flacco's not going to get cut. If I can recall, didn't he win a Super Bowl? I don't think Joe Flacco's not going to get cut. They need that veteran. And I don't think Joe Flacco at his age, I don't think he cares to really. I mean, yeah, every football player wants to get in the game and football, yeah, you know what I mean? But when you've done it all and you've made all the money, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you just clocking in, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Joe Flacco's really preoccupied with getting the number 1 spot, you know what I'm saying? He's done it all already. But I don't think they're going to cut him. You need that veteran guy saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, look out. Hey, you know what I'm saying, check this read. You know what I'm saying, hey, keep your mind focused on such and such. You know what I mean? Like you need that veteran guy in your on your bench. And so yeah, Joe Flacco is you know what I'm saying, he's not gonna get cut. No. So I think. And with the amount of fanfare, and the GMs and the owners are probably going to be like, well, why would we cut Shedeur Sanders? Look how much money he's making us. You know what I'm saying? Look how much his jersey is selling. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we do that? That's stupid, right? And then the coaches are like, well, we got Dylan Gabriel. You know what I'm saying? Like we got Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett. If we're not gonna cut Joe Flacco, you know what I'm saying? Are we gonna cut Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett? Like, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? So yeah, 40-year-old. It always seemed that the 40-year-old would end up on top as the winner of the starting quarterback competition. Joe Flacco's 40, bro. Wow, that's crazy. I remember him in the Ravens like yesterday. Like. Flacco received the starting role as the other 3 quarterbacks have been and yeah, they're gonna start Joe Flacco just off the strength of him being a veteran. But an oblique injury. If any, I'm no medical nothing. Please, don't listen to me. But the oblique is basically the side of the abs. You know what I mean? The side of the abs going down to like right above the thigh. That muscle kind of stretches that way. And if you've ever played quarterback, if you've ever like just thrown a football, you use a lot of that muscle in your throwing motion. Because really a lot of throwing strength comes from your core, not necessarily your arms. So when they say a quarterback has an arm, he doesn't really have a strong arm per se. He just has a good core. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of that's as much sports science as I'm going to give you. So for him to injure his oblique, it doesn't matter, and it really doesn't matter which side, because you're always twisting when you if you're not if you're not twisting your upper body, you're twisting your lower body to eat. You're twisting your upper body to throw, but you're also twisting your lower body to move your feet and change direction. You know what I mean? And so you're either of those muscles, you injure either of those muscles, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a problem. You're going to be like damn near 50%, if not 75. You know what I mean? So yeah, you do want to heal up. You do want to heal up, especially. And then I think, and then what some of the sports analysts mentioned is that, you know, he's been going pretty hard, you know, trying to get his reps up so that he can compete for this starting position. You know what I mean? And it's kind of he's kind of overworked himself. You know what I mean? And, you know, just if that's the story, if that's how the publicists want to spin it, you know what I'm saying? Kudos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Work hard, you know, do your thing. But I don't think the way he played in week 1, in that first preseason week, I don't think he can't get cut. I don't think he can get cut. No. First of all, you're a cash. You're the biggest cash cow to the city has had since LeBron. Like, come on. You know, and you're one of the biggest names in the city since LeBron. Come on, son, 777. You know, and then you're actually talented and you can play real well. Like, yeah. So he's not gonna get cut. He'll sit out this week. And then every preseason game after this, he's gonna have to show and prove. Hopefully, let's see how long is, how you spell Shedeur? It's spelled weird. SHEDEUR. How long is scheduled to be out? Let's see what it says. He's day to day with an oblique strain. He strained it. He didn't even tear it. So he's probably just like laying in the bed on ice. You know what I'm saying? Going to rehab. He's probably going to rehab like twice a day. He's taking whatever meds, whatever supplements he can take. While he's expected to miss the game against Philadelphia Eagles, there is a cautious optimism that he could return to practice next week. He'll probably just, you know, be in a light practice. You know what I'm saying? He'll probably just get like a gold jersey and then just run around and get reps. He could return to practice next week and possibly play in the final preseason game. Okay, so he's gonna miss. So I think there's 4 preseason games in the week. So he's gonna miss next week's game, and then the week after that he's gonna play. You know what I mean? So we're waiting. We're waiting with with bated breath. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Like get well soon. Get well soon. All right, let's get into the last topic. I like the way the show is flowing. I like the way it's flowing. I like the way it's going. So here, wait, hold on. Let me set this up. So the last topic. 1 second. All right. Hold on. Last topic. So, black mayors of cities Trump decries as lawless tout significant declines in violent crimes. Here's the politics. There's the president, right? And then there's the mayors, right? You know what I mean? Everybody has their job to do. None is greater than the other, right? None is greater than the other. But the thing about politicians are always looking ahead. You know what I'm saying? They're always looking ahead, and they're always looking at how does this look? You know what I'm saying? They're always looking at the look, right? They're always mindful of how does this look? What is the perception behind this? They're always looking at the psychology behind this. You know what I'm saying? And you know, how do we spin this? You know what I'm saying? Like how do we make this work? And you know, so that's the unspoken part of a politician's job. You know what I mean? And so now when black mayors, when the president is calling out lawless cities, like nothing. When you're that high in the positions of power, nothing you do is just. You don't just say shit just to say it. You don't just do shit just to do it. Like there's a chess game going on. So he's calling out quote unquote lawless cities, right? However, all of these cities happen to have black mayors, right? This is where the look comes in. You know what I'm saying? So now these mayors are trying to get into some sort of solidarity or union per se, and say, hey, that's bullshit. Look at our stats. You know what I mean? And that's another unspoken part of politicians, is to rely a lot on statistics. This is why when people get into arguments or intellectual debates, there are those who try to avoid the statistics as much as possible and then rely on the emotion of the point that they're trying to make. And then there's ones who who harp on the statistics as much as possible and rely on the logic of the argument that they're trying to make. You know what I mean? And there's different strategies. You know. So now I guess the mayors are seeing the play behind this. You know what I'm saying? By this call out. As President Donald Trump declared Washington, D.C. a crime-ridden wasteland. Ooh, like dang. A crime-ridden wasteland. Several mayors compared notes. The president's character, and to my knowledge, I think he took eminent domain over the police force in Washington, D.C. So like that, and then you know you can't have the nation's capital, you know what I'm saying, being a crime-ridden nothing. Like you can't have that. Like fuck no. You know what I mean? I mean, but then again, we saw that during the crack era. You know what I mean? When President Bush had that fake, it wasn't fake, but he was holding a bag of crack. Everybody was like, what is the president doing? Like, what the fuck? Bush Senior. We miss the Bushes now, don't we? We miss them now. That's the ex. That's the ex that you let get away, right? But president's characterization of their cities contradicts what they began noticing last year. That they were seeing a drop in violent crime after a pandemic era spike. In some cases, the declines were monumental, due in large part to more youth engagement, gun buyback programs, and community partnerships. That's what's up. Shout outs to that. Now members of the African American Mayors Association are determined to stop Trump from burying accomplishments. I think this is Trump's covert attack on the DEI, or the whole DEI thing. This is his attack on that. And they're using the administration's unprecedented law enforcement takeover in the nation's capital as an opportunity to disprove his narrative about some of the country's greatest urban enclaves. Urban, right? Urban. We know what that means. Quote, it gives us so now did I read that already? Yeah. Quote, it gives us an opportunity to say we need to amplify our voices to confront the rhetoric that crime is just running rampant around major U.S. cities. It's just not true, said Van Johnson, mayor of Savannah, Georgia, and president of the African American Mayors Association. It's not supported by any evidence or statistics whatsoever. After deploying the first of 800 National Guard members in Washington, the Republican president is setting his sights on other cities, including Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Oakland, California, calling them crime-ridden and horribly run. One thing they all have in common, they're led by black mayors. I just said that, didn't I? I just said that. Quote, it was not lost on any member of our organization that the mayors either were black or perceived to be Democrats. Ooh, that's another shot. So here we go. This is we're swaying the tide for what were we in? We're swaying the tide for 2028 now. You know what I'm saying? So he's attacking black mayors. This is 3 or 4 birds with one stone here that Trump is pushing. So he's getting the Republican Party to attack black mayors. That's attacking DEI, right? Because the DEI was supposed to help blacks. Was it? Maybe, I don't know. But that's going to definitely cut off the water on DEI. He's attacking Democrats. You know what I mean? He's attacking Democrats. That's gonna sway the vote in 2028. You know what I'm saying? This is all propaganda. This is all marketing. And then these major cities. He's gonna claim eminent domain on these major cities the same way. DC was the project. And then it's gonna go to Baltimore. It's gonna go to Chicago, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? It was not lost on any member of our organization that they were either black or Democrats, perceived to be Democrats, and that's unfortunate. For mayors, we play with whoever's on the field. The federal government's actions have heightened some of the mayor's desires to champion the strategies used to help make their cities safer. You know, and see, here's another thing about politics. Many times when you try to solve one problem, you as a politician, you have to very much plug holes in a dam. And for every one problem you solve, for every one solution, there's 3 more problems behind it. You create 3 more problems for every one solution. And so your job is never done, you know? And so what did they say? What were some of these solutions? Youth engagement, gun buyback programs, and community partnerships. That's awesome. I like that. Crime is very much a byproduct of economics. You know what I mean? If you're 16 years old and your mattress is on the floor, your fridge is empty, and you don't know who your father is, you know what I mean, and your mom's strung out, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you may be in a predicament like that, and you may live in a city like Baltimore or Chicago or Los Angeles or Oakland, right? Where the cost of living in these cities. I lived in Baltimore for 2 years. I'll admit the crime did spike while I was living there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But living in Baltimore and getting to know a lot of the people in Baltimore, getting to know them intimately, there is very much a community understanding of the dysfunction that leads to the crime. You know what I mean? There's a culture of crime where the people they get up every day and accept that, yes, I'm going to live a life of crime. It is what it is. And then there's people, and this is all across the country. This is all across the world. There's people who get up and say, "Hey, I need to feed my family. I need to find food. I need to get a little bit of change in my pocket so I can make another day." You know what I mean? And that's a different kind of crime, But when you're looking at statistics but these politicians, not necessarily, partly mayors, but national politicians like senators and congressmen and a lot of them came up through the ranks, so they understand. Some of them, very few of them, they understand the grind, the inner city grind, and the urban grind. You know what I mean? But a lot of them, the majority of them, are very, very far removed and very out of touch, and all they see is numbers and statistics. You know what I mean? So when this it would make sense for someone like Trump to call these crime-ridden cities, and then he did what he did in DC because he's in DC. Like, you know what I'm saying? His feet are on the ground in DC, so he like, if anything happens, it's gonna come across his desk at some point. If it gets too out of control, it's gonna come across his desk. You know what I mean? So whatever's going on, maybe Baltimore, Baltimore's up the road, but whatever's going on in Baltimore or Chicago or LA or Oakland, you know what I mean? It'll trickle. It may trickle to him, but at the end of the day, all he'll see is statistics and numbers without factoring in the economics behind it. You know what I mean? And so, so for him, him calling out these mayors was a very strategic position, and it's a play on 2028. It's a play on, I think, and then not only is it a play on the 2028 election, but it's kind of a trickle down to the local elections too. You know what I mean? And swaying the vote Republican, or basically quote unquote swaying the vote white. You know what I mean? Because black mayors can't get it done, right? That's kind of the narrative that Trump is pushing when he's saying these things. And it's sort of similar to the district attorney, the Atlanta district, the Fulton County Atlanta district attorney situation, where it was just a big fumble because she was sleeping with one of the district attorneys that she hired, right? One of the assistant DAs that she hired, and it just makes black people in leadership look like they can't get it done, so they'll be less likely to be voted for. This is all propaganda. And so you got to see the play, you got to see the chess game and be smarter than that. That's basically what I'm getting at. This was a great show, man. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys appreciated it. I hope you guys learned something and got something out of it. I sure did. I did appreciate this show. This show was a very, very good show. You guys have been awesome, man. You guys have been quite awesome. I want to thank each and every last one of you for tuning into this multi-million-dollar stream. I'm Kev Prosper, founder and CEO of Prosperity, selling travel consulting, merchandise, and media that teach people how to master their mindset and live life on their own terms. You're tuned into Love and Money on Prosperity Plus. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App, $Prosperity ULLC. Thank you for visiting the website below at prosperunlimited.com. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. And remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. All right. Great show, guys. Great show. I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity ULLC. Link in the description.
These are all of my books. My very first book, Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3, sci-fi action thriller. My poem anthology, Red Garden. That is System of the Sun. That's my book on organizational skills. Don't wait till I get rich to buy that book. New Shoes. That's my book on self-esteem, on how to love yourself. Ratchetology. Yes, I'm the Ratchetologist. Take my advice. Visit prosperunlimited.com and click travel to book your next vacation.
pay. Do that freaky jam on the beat. Busy with that butter shit that bone feed. Did you tippy, did you double, do that song sing. Flicky with some butter, sip that phone sing. If you cheeky cheddar check, I get her own cheese. It's a chicken with that head, or this a bitch that won't be with the official with that whole sleeve. Let me see you said the wish that with that long sleeve.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. If I don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch, I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity U LLC. Link in the description.
These are all of my books. My very first book, Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths,